Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at not only the Halloween event, which is going to introduce a new Pokemon and 2 new shadows, we're also going to take a look at the Harvest event, which is going to be even closer to us. It's going to be in 4 days, where we're going to get the new Pokemon Dipplin and the new Pokemon Hydrapple, which is going to be something I'm definitely going to grind for. So today we're going to take a look at how those Pokemon are going to perform, on what we know so far, and also on what we kinda can expect from the 2 new shadow Pokemon that you see kinda on the right side. Now you can kind of see them more on the right side. Yeah, on what we can expect from them. But anyway, let's start off with the Halloween event. This event just literally got announced, and this is going to be a little bit later than the other event that you're going to take a look at afterwards. This is part number 1. Usually part number 2 is going to be even more interesting. Usually part 2 is going to have all of the costume Pokemon in there. This one is going to have the Zora in both forms in this one, which is kind of cool. And a new shiny of, I think it's the Poltergeist, I think it's what it's called. But yeah, we're going to have also the Sinistra and the Poltergeist, I think it's what the Pokemon are called, as new additions to the game. And those are going to be kind of more of regional forms. They're not directly regional forms, but it's kind of like literally the same there. Which is going to have a different typing, which is going to be a grass and ghost type Pokemon, which you only have 20 million so far in Pokemon Go. So that's going to be great, but this is going to be very cool because you're going to also get here, other than the Poltergeist debut, also the new decoration again that we have all the time for Halloween for this event. I love that. Halloween events are always kind of the best in Pokemon Go. And we're going to have here a Go Pass Halloween event where you're going to have different kind of tiers that you can unlock, I guess, where you're going to be able to get more candies, which is kind of cool, where you can get increased chance for Candy XL from catching with nice and great and excellent throws. And here you're gonna get 2 times / 3 times candies for transferring Pokemon, with even a greater increase of Candy XL, which is going to be really cool for transferring as well. So it's going to allow you to get more candies, and also at this point you can already keep your Pokemon for that. And here we're going to take a look at the more interesting part. How do you go get the new Pokemon? You have to raid it, apparently. It's going to be only in 1-star raids. That's the only way of getting that one. We have here the shiny boost towards the other form, basically, of it, which is kind of cool as well. But yeah, you have to raid for it to get this Pokemon. Is it worth it? We're going to take a look at it afterwards. You're going to get a new avatar item, by the way, on the bottom right. I only just saw that. That's hilarious. I think that's a great idea. But 3-star raids, not really too exciting here, to be fair. Not really something worth talking about. But then we have 1-star shadow raids, and that's going to be 2 new Pokemon. That's going to be here the Trevenant and the... forgot the name of that one, but we're going to see it later on anyway. So 2 new ghost type Pokemon. Sorry for that one. I know the German words for them, which is kind of awkward, which I'm like, yeah, I know like this is Trevenant in English, but I forgot the name of him. Cofagrigus. It's like the evolution of it. So that's kind of what you gotta get here, which is kind of cool. But also something here noteworthy is that we're gonna get Spiritomb again through quests, which we haven't had in quite a bit. So Spiritomb is like a rare shiny Pokemon, which I just traded away to my girlfriend as well. So yeah, shout out to you. But we're gonna be able to get the shiny again, hopefully through quest, which is kind of cool. But let's take a little bit of a look at Sinistra. There's going to be this Pokemon here. That's going to be Grass and Ghost. By the way, all the information that I'm going to have here today, we're going to take a look at it in the Go Battle League as well for PvPoke, where it's not on currently. I just made my own version for it. But all the information are from GoHub. This is what everything is based on here. If this is going to change, that is going to be just normal here. That's speculation. Just want to say that. That's currently the open information that we have from GoHub. So here we're going to see the stats distribution here, very attack weighted, which is kind of alright. But we're going to have some interesting moves here. We're going to have Astonish, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, and Poltergeist. Poltergeist, of course, makes sense on a Pokemon like this, but generally speaking, this moveset itself, I think it's alright for like PvE or whatever, but for PvP, Astonish is great, Shadow Ball is alright, Energy Ball is alright. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue is you don't have a cheap move. You only have nuke moves. You're going to be able to nuke everything with this Pokemon, but it's not going to really be great in PvP, I can tell you this already. But of course, we're going to have, Trevenant and the Cofagrigus as a shadow variant compared to each other as well as the Sinistra here. And what we're going to see is Sinistra is still going to be able to take some KOs here, of course, because of the typing, because of Astonish still being a very, very strong move. But you see here, you basically only win the ones where you have a big type advantage. That's the only ones that you can win. Trevenant currently, honestly, is such an underrated Pokemon. Like, look at what this can win. As a Shadow, I still think it's going to have some potential. It is not going to be as great all the time, but I think it's going to be more, say, tied with a normal one. I think both of them are going to be viable. The Shadow one, of course, does more fast move pressure, which can be really cool in a lot of matchups. but also cannot really take a hit, which the normal one can do sometimes. And for Cofagrigus, it seems like that the Shadow one is actually quite a little bit better, which is kind of cool to know. Cofagrigus, not a Pokemon that sees a lot of play, even though it has actually great stats here as well as a pure Ghost type Pokemon. It just doesn't have the charge move coverage that it needs in order to have great play. Does the Shadow version gonna change it for it? Most likely not. It's most likely not going to change it at all. Here we're going to have the Traveler. Now, by the way, you see it's basically the same as I said before as well in the 2-shoot scenario compared to Shadow and the non-Shadow. Shadow wins against Cordeli, non-Shadow wins against Clodsire. And here for the Cofagrigus, you're going to be able to beat a few more Pokemon, but honestly, it's not going to be a greatest upgrade. So both those Shadows are going to be cool. Both those Shadows you're only going to be able to get through raids, but also both those Shadows are not going to be too competitively needed. But also, what I've seen so far, and that didn't read anywhere, apparently you cannot get rid of Frustration anyway, so like that's a great thing for them for the start with. You have to kind of run a single move to you and run it anywhere now, which nobody's going to do. But it is what it is. Sinistcha itself, though, you cannot actually get currently. This is not going to be available for the Great League in the beginning, because you're only going to be able to get it through raids, which is going to force it at least at level 20, and then you have no chance of really getting this Pokemon for the Great League. So it's an Ultra League only Pokemon, which you can take a look at now right now as well real quick. If we're going to take a look at the Ultra League and go for Sinistcha, here by the way, the moveset again, it's just everything the same as you just saw as well. This Pokemon is going to be able to do a little bit, but honestly it's not a great Pokemon at all. So yeah, that's for this one. I still think that the event itself is cool, and I think it's going to be a cool second event afterwards as well. But before we're going to get there, we're going to have the Harvest Festival. We're going to get a new Pokemon here with Dipplin as well as Hydrapple, and those are going to be a little bit more worth talking about, as Dipplin is going to be one of the bulkiest Pokemon that has been added, at least if you played the actual main series games, where this Pokemon actually had some play with the move with the item Eviolite. But yeah, this is going to be, of course, not the case in Pokemon Go. Eviolite doesn't exist. Still, it's a little bit of a bulkier grass and Dragon-type Pokemon, which we haven't really seen so far, which is cool. We're gonna get a new item, Syrupy Apple, which is going to be needed in order to evolve this Pokemon. You need 200 Apple candies and then 20 Syrupy Apples. And to evolve it then into Hydrapple, you have to catch 7 Dragon types while this Pokemon is your buddy and use 400 Apple candy. Apple candy, to be fair, is kind of more what worries me. I can use some, what's called some pineapple berries most likely on it, which you're going to see as well. You're going to be able to get double catch candy for catching with pineapple berries, which is kind of important for this one because you need a lot of candies there. So it's not going to be too bad. And what you kind of want to do is definitely going to use those Mossy Lures. That's mostly what I'm going to do as well when I'm going to go out on Friday for it then, is to try to just go out and use the Mossy Lures as soon as the event starts at 10 AM on the spot there and try to get as many as possible to make, yeah, some content for Dipplin. Dipplin going to be also available in the upcoming cup, which I'm also going to take a look at tomorrow. Stay tuned for the content there. But as you're going to see as well, there's going to be a research where you're going to be able to get some Mossy Lures as well. But double Mossy Lure duration, which is kind of important here. This is going to be very important. An increased chance of receiving berries from Pokestops. Absolutely nobody cares about it. Anyway, we're going to take a look at Dipplin. Dipplin is going to be an interesting Pokemon. Dipplin is going to have the lowest stat here being the attack stat, which is really good. That's really good for PvP. That's what you want to see for a Pokemon like this. The issue for this typing itself is you're weak to Bug, Dragon, Fairy, Flying, and Poison types, as well as quadruple weak to Ice type Pokemon. So basically what you're going to have here is a type combination that is going to leave you quite vulnerable against most of the current meta, which makes it very tough to use as Pokemon. The moveset itself, though, is kind of actually alright. We have Seed Bomb, which is a great bait move. We're going to have Dragon Tail, which is going to be a good move for generating energy fast. And we're going to have Rollout or Bullet Seed as alternative options, which you're mostly not going to see because Dragon Tail is alright. And then we're going to have Outrage and Dragon Pulse, which are going to be some harder hitting moves, which honestly are very solid. So, what can we talk about next? The Hydrapple, of course. The evolution of this Pokemon. Getting up to a maximum power of 3656 is not too crazy. It's honestly not too crazy. The stats are quite neutral, alright, okay, they're cool, they're funny, everything okay, but they're not great. They're not great, they're absolutely not great. And it's kind of sad because I love this Pokemon. I think it's such a cool design. I think the only thing that this Pokemon really would need to make it good would be the signature move that it has. There is a signature move, I think, for all of those evolutions of them, which Hydrapple just needs. I think it has actually 2 different signature moves, so yeah, you kind of need to have some different moves in order to make this Pokemon interesting. And currently, we don't have this, and it's not going to get added before then anyway, because otherwise they would advertise it. And so we can now take a look at Dipplin. Dipplin, again, as said before, has actually very solid bulk. That's alright bulk. It's not the craziest bulk, but it's actually okay. But Hydrapple, of course, for this matter, is actually kind of similar. It's not even that much worse than the Dipplin, and we see it here as well when you calculate it. This is not going to be a big difference between them, but also you're only going to be able to win against Pokemon that you have a crazy type advantage against. Anything else you're going to lose against. So neither of them you need. And for Hydrapple, in the Master League here, it looks even worse because Pokemon just doesn't have what it needs to have. But honestly, Hydrapple in the main series games actually has some interesting moves. Let me actually get Hydrapple on real quick as well here, because Hydrapple is actually going to be an interesting Pokemon there because it has those signature moves that it can get in the future. We have Feckle Beam here, which is going to be what you want to have as well. This is going to be like the one signature move that it has. And I think it has Syrup Bomb, which would be an interesting move to have as like it's the signature moves of Hydrapple and I guess of Dipplin. Which is going to maybe, I think it allows you to drop the defense or something, most likely, when you're going to have it in Pokemon Go eventually. But if you would get this Pokemon both of those moves, it would be actually so much better, like Syrupy Bomb. So it would be like a cheaper grass type move that does a lot of damage and can like drop the opponent's defense or something, and then you have like this move here, Fickle Beam to you. Maybe you have even like the chance of increasing your attack because it has like a chance of doubling the damage output of it. Would be cool. Would be absolutely cool, but this is currently not going on, and so this is going to be all set for this video. Last thing though, before I end this video, I want to give a shout out again to Galaxy as well, who is doing the graphics. There's always a link in every video down below to his Twitter, so definitely check them out. That's going to be it. Hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you then.